So I've been using the MacBook Pro now for over a year, and it's been my go-to daily driver for almost everything. But there's just one problem that plagues this thing: ports. And I think I just might have found a solution for all of us. Let me explain. I'm a director and cinematographer currently based out of Shanghai, and my M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro has been my everything. I've used it on my production set. I've used it as my editor of choice, content consumption device, and it's just a great all-round tool. But the main issue that I've found so far is that this MacBook only has 1, 2, and 3 USB-C ports, which sometimes is not enough when I'm trying to juggle between connecting external displays and multiple SSDs. So I recently got sent this thing by Minisopuru. This is their new 10 GB per second USB-C transfer data hub. I'm gonna try this thing out and see if it solves my problem. Now, I should also mention that this video is not sponsored. I have not been paid to make this review, and as a matter of fact, they're probably gonna see this video as soon as it goes live or even later, just like everybody else. So my thoughts are mine and mine alone. Now let's take a closer look at this device. This USB-C hub is equipped with 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 data ports. Actually 5, but one is rated PD, which means power delivery. So you can fast charge a phone or tablet, though it will draw from the laptop battery. So that might be something you want to plan ahead for. It can easily connect multiple USB-C devices to the laptop and quickly transfer files, which I'll be testing pretty soon. But this single USB-C port allows for more Type-C external devices, including hard drives, a mouse, and other types of gadgets that you might potentially have. Going back to the PD function of this docking station, it has power ports that are compatible up to 100 watt input and up to 90 watt safe output power to charge your laptops. So if you're on one of the new Apple Silicon MacBooks, this thing is okay to keep you plugged in. Lastly, this works with all devices that are configured with a USB-C port. For example, it is compatible with the 16-inch MacBook Pro as far back as the 2016 model, for the MacBook Air as far back as the 2018 model, and for the iMac as far back as 2017. This thing also supports the 2018, 2020, 2021 iPad Pro. Anyways, for non-Apple users, you're also covered. If you own any of the devices listed here on the screen, this thing will also work for you. The USB-C cable that comes from the unit is about a foot long, so there is plenty of length to find a good position for the body of the unit when you are using it. So there are a few caveats that you should probably know about this thing before you buy that, and I will say that right after this. But first, let's test this thing out. And I'm gonna be testing this in 3 categories. One is connectivity. Is this thing easy to plug into your computer, your iPad, or whatever device? And second is the speed. How fast can this thing really go? And lastly, heat, bro. Does this thing get hot? Let's find out. The first thing that we're going to check is how well this thing connects and just stays snug inside of the MacBook Pro. So, let's just go for it. Bam. I was expecting that there would be some kind of light. It's not gonna come up. Tug of war. So it does feel like this thing sits pretty well inside of this USB-C port on the MacBook. And I guess that applies to the iPad and whatever device you have as well. I guess that passes the test. Now let's go to the next thing. The next one is going to be the speed test. And to be able to do that, I sort of have here 3 Samsung T5s. They're fast, they're reliable, and they work pretty much the same. Also, to make sure that we're consistent with this test, we're using only original cables that came with these drives, all USB-C to USB-C. The first test that we're going to do is going to be the regular Mac USB-C port against this Minisopuru USB-C hub. Which one's gonna be faster? Let's find out. duct really fast. Go. Wow. Straight off the bat, it's faster. How is that even possible? Here, it's doing 4 minutes and 32 seconds. The second test that we're going to be doing also to check just how well this works against other brands is to test this Minisopuru brand. We're going to be testing it against this brand here. It's called the Eraser. However, this is not a Type-C hub. This is more of a USB 3.0, and we also have the corresponding cables for that. Okay, so first of all, I am blown away that this thing is faster than the USB-C port on the MacBook Pro. First of all, it was the fastest when I was trying to dock it. As soon as I plugged it in, the MacBook recognized this thing ASAP. It was so fast. I think just based off of speed alone, this thing is definitely something you might want to look into. Let's come closer. Remember when I said that there are caveats to this thing? Stop making noise, people. The first one is that to be able to achieve the 10 gigabyte per second, you do need a corresponding USB cable. So if your USB is USB 2.0, you're possibly not going to be able to get that. You need a USB that can transfer just as fast as this thing is willing to work. The second caveat with this thing, and it's something that the company themselves recommend, is do not plug 3 SSD or external drives into this thing at once. And for me, that's sort of like a bummer because I have a lot of SSDs and I just want to be able to go as soon as possible and plug everything in. Why? I really do not know. I will possibly reach out to them and send them an email to be able to clarify that reason itself. The next thing you should know about this thing is that it does not support monitor display. So if you're planning to use this for monitoring, you should probably look into something else. This only supports power delivery and data transfer. The last thing to remember is if you do want to use the PD ports to supply power to your MacBook, make sure that this is connected into an electrical socket where you can get actual power. You need something powerful to come in through here before it can send in power to your MacBook. But if you were just connecting this straight up to your MacBook and plugging in your phone, for example, it should work just fine. Now, one of my final thoughts on this device, I think that one, it is easy to use. It is basically just plug and play. You don't need to install any additional plugins. You don't need to do anything else. And that sort of makes it desirable, in my opinion. Second thing is just look at the size on this thing. It's so compact, it is small. You can just take this, put this in your bag. It is travel friendly. That's the word I'm looking for. I also do like the cable. I like the fact that it's not too long. I feel like it's just the right amount where it's not dangling, but at the same time, it's enough to get you space away from the MacBook. Another thing that I also like, and I think this is a good design concept, is the fact that the PD ports here is separated away from the USB-C port. So it's relatively easier to remember because now you know where the PD port to charge is and you know where the data transfer is. So that's just a nice touch that I think I sort of appreciate on this thing. In terms of the build design, it looks durable, it feels durable. I hope it's durable, but from the look of things so far, this thing looks like it can take a beating. Now, after watching this video, if you do decide that you want to pick up this piece of gear from Minisopuru, there's a link in the description of this video. It's an affiliate link. It is at no additional cost to you. As a matter of fact, it helps to support the channel so that we make sure that I'm able to make videos like this. Maybe Minisopuru might even be able to give a discount if you use my link. I'll see you guys in the next one. This thing is clutch, and that's it. It's time to leave the office. People are starting to make noise. Cars are starting to go by, and that's the end of it. I need to do the MacBook Pro again. I definitely need to do the MacBook Pro again just to be sure that, you know,